All right, let's move on to the first segment. The Water Dancers is an environmental documentary that won a SAFTA award earlier this year for the best student film. Director Robyn and editor Erin Macpherson joins us in the studio now to chat about this impactful film. Let's take a sneak peek at the trailer.
Right now we're living in a time when we need to be very aware that the world is changing. We must do something, and we must do it quickly. Ecological networks are an insurance policy for the future. These ecological networks are interconnected corridors of fully natural land that supply biodiversity conservation alongside production and the water, which is the basis for all life on Earth. Dragonflies are particularly sensitive to water conditions, that we are well able to monitor the fresh water on which we depend so much.
Wow, the Water Dancers, isn't that beautiful? If you've got any questions for Robyn and Erin, please contact us on our social media. And remember to use the hashtag Afternoon Express in your comments. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
And a huge congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Let's discuss the Water Dancers. Firstly, what a beautiful name. And I mean, what a beautiful film. Where did the idea come from?
I think the idea stemmed from an integral need to be a part of conservation. I mean, it's on everyone's mind. It's now or never kind of situation. And the story is based on Michael Samways' life's work of conservation, and particularly his life's work on dragonflies.
Okay.
And we just saw that as an amazing opportunity to use the dragonfly as a vehicle of telling such a bigger story, and taking a small insect and showing the huge impact that it has on the ecosystem.
I watched the most amazing little documentary with Muhammad Ali, and he was saying to his daughter, every single living thing on this earth, the biggest thing or the tiniest thing, has a purpose. Even a tiny little mosquito has a role and a purpose in this world. And it's so, you look at things differently when you think of it like that.
Definitely.
But we know what the value of a bee is. What is the significance of a dragonfly?
Well, dragonflies, they're are sentient creatures, and they basically are indicator species of an environment. So if a dragonfly is present in an environment, then you know that the environment's doing well, because they're both land and water species. So if the dragonflies aren't there, then that's a sign that your environment isn't doing well.
Wow.
So it's a great indicator for letting you know how your environment is doing.
So how did you put this film together? Did you spend a lot of time with dragonflies? I mean, they must be quite difficult little buggers to film.
They are.
You can imagine, yeah.
They move at 1,000 miles an
They
hour.
don't listen well, yeah.
And you can't just, place them, say, stay there, we'd like to get a shot of you now.
You can try.
We actually had to spend a lot of time in nature, which was both rewarding and challenging. I mean, when you have a subject matter like a dragonfly, you can't exactly direct it. So you kind of have to learn their behavior. You have to be very in touch with what time of the day they come out, where they like to come out, what they like to do, and then plan your filming around that, which is very tricky, but it also, at the same time, it was so rewarding to sit back in nature at a pond and just wait. And then you at 1 o'clock, they come alive, the adult dragonflies come alive, and then you get the pleasure of just watching them. And we were so lucky because so many of them were doing their mating. It was during mating season, and so we literally got to see them dance on water every day. We were filming them.
So do they dance on water when they mate?
Yes, they kind of fly in tandem.
Okay.
And they fly together in order to.
You know, you think that it's something so, like, I want to say to you now, it's such a privilege, but actually that should be the norm.
Yes, absolutely.
Where it's now something that's the exception. But I mean, what an absolute privilege to just be able to do your work while you're sitting in nature and just being and appreciate everything, just being around you.
And call that work.
How do you direct it?
Wow.
Like, is it just waiting, watching, and...
Yeah, so I think the tricky part with the documentary, well, any story to tell basically is you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So it's about trying to have a plan of action when you go into, from your concept, have a plan of action, have a target audience, have a message, a through line message that you want to tell at the end of the day. And then it comes to the edit, where I know Erin will tell you is where all the puzzle pieces come together. And that really is where you get to tell the story, is in the edit suite, because you've got all this footage, you've got all these interviews, and now it's the time to tell the story you want to tell.
Yeah, how do you put that all together?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
What
you
a
can,
beautiful-
you can go in so many different directions. So I think as a director, it's really having a specific message in the beginning and an idea of what you want your film to be like, and hope that all the pieces fall together.
I really love the message, like all the small things matter, because it's just so beautiful, and I think it makes you aware to notice the little things. So obviously having so much footage, and amazing footage, incredible drone footage, micro footage, going through all of that, was there ever a moment where you were watching these dragonflies and you thought, wow, and you noticed something in their behavior that you didn't know before that blew your mind?
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about working on this film, is that we came in not knowing any of this information. And then by the end of it, we understood dragonflies and their behavior and the way that they move and all of that, their colors, the types of dragonflies. Like, you learn all of it through working through it. So it is, I mean, it's a very enlightening and enriching experience.
How long did it take from beginning to end to make?
Around 10 months.
Okay.
Maybe a bit longer.
Yeah.
So we started principal photography in the March. We had actually 2 months to film the dragonflies, because dragonflies' life cycle is actually quite interesting, but they're only adults for a few months of the year. So once they've laid their eggs, they kind of die. So we had to grab the opportunity to film them while they were still alive and in adult form. And then thereafter we traveled to KZN to film in the forestry plantations, where a little bit more of the environmental conservation of our story gets unfolded. And then we were in post-production for
About
5 to 6 months.
Amazing. And all of that hard work really paid off, because best student film at the SAFTAs, how did that feel?
That was an amazing feeling.
Indescribable feeling, really.
What a
it's validating.
start for you both.
I know. It's
for our whole team,
It's something that everyone in their career aspires to achieve, and we started our career achieving that. So it really is, I mean, words don't really describe the feeling.
When you're starting off with a SAFTA, you know you're finishing off with an Oscar at some point.
Here's hoping.
So congratulations. We're going to be keeping a very, very close eye on your careers, and we really, really do wish you the best, and the biggest of congratulations.
Thank you so
Let's see what South Africa wants to know.
Absolutely. Now, we've asked you on social media if you've got any questions for Robyn and Erin, and we've got Tando D. Dlamini, who says, afternoon, Robyn and Erin. Congratulations again. The film industry is so vast and so competitive. How do you deal with all the pressure of making an amazing film?
Wow, I mean...
No pressure. Easy questions.
I think you do use the pressure to a degree. You have to use the pressure. It'll motivate you to make your next film and make it bigger and better than your previous one. So I think you definitely have to kind of wrap your head around that and just use the momentum of winning something like a SAFTA and go forward.
And also, like, competition is one thing, but at the same time, believe in what you want to make. You know, if you have passion for what you're creating, you're going to drive yourself to do that.
Make the films you want to watch.
Yes, exactly.
Tell the stories you want to hear.
Yeah. Great, great message.
Absolutely, and great answer too. We've got Penelope Ngwenya, who says, hi, Afternoon Express family. My name is Penelope Ngwenya, and I wrote a screenplay over a year ago. And I would like to know from Erin and Robyn, what should I do next? And Penelope, remember to use the hashtag Afternoon Express.
My advice would probably be get external advice from people in your life. Possibly people that are screenwriters of some sort. Get that other perspective, because stepping away from it and getting a third person's perspective helps you understand where your story is going, and just stick to it. Like, anyone can make a movie. You just have to have the passion and the drive to make that movie. It can be shot on a cell phone. Like, just take your script, believe in your script, work on your script, and from there, make the connections.
Yeah, there are incredible platforms where you don't have, you don't need necessarily all the resources that someone else would have to make a film. There are competitions out there. You can make something, as Erin said, on
well,
your
you're
cell
testament
phone.
to that. It was a student film funded by, university. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's doable.
So you just,
It's doable,
if you have the drive and the passion for it, it's definitely doable.
Beautiful. Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.